Hello friends! I thought it would be really fun to give you a tour of my studio so you can see what it looks like as I teach class and then also what it looks like for my students on the other side of the Zoom screen. So when we purchased this home, this was the deal for me, is that this separate building right here was a garage, and then my husband and I turned it into a dance studio and eventually remodeled it. We put in a dance floor inside, which you'll soon see, and then of course we added this beautiful open door right here so that way it let a lot of natural light in. But honestly, y'all, this was like the thing that made it worth it for me to buy this house, because I could have the opportunity to have a dance studio in my home, but not attached to my home. Okay, we're inside now, and to the right as you enter through those double doors, we have a beautiful bathroom in here, and I keep my tripod handy and the vacuum because I shed a lot of hair, but I keep that tripod handy because of all the filming that I do. You guys might notice this background. Doesn't it look so familiar? Right? So this is where I had previously filmed a lot of my classes, was having the camera actually about right where you are right now, facing this direction and having this symmetry, because I love things that are symmetrical. However, we changed around recently once I had my annual members event and we had in-person workshops with everybody, and then I also had to film to ensure that everyone online could also view. So the mirrors are actually this way. So once I show you the rest of the studio, you'll start to see why I kind of changed it around instead of keeping the original view that we had. Okay, y'all, this is my desk. What? Hello! I'm on candid camera. But I also keep a picture of my kids. And of course, inspiring women around me to keep that vision alive. But this is like my main setup here. You'll see my camera, we have lighting so I can view myself here. I already turned on Zoom so that way you could see it here and what my students see. So once everyone logs in online, what ends up happening is I spotlight my camera so I'm the only one in view. And then what we do is I teach from that perspective. So you can see me in the background. You see me in the background? You see my booty shaking? What? Let me show you. Boom. What? Here we go. But when my students can see me very, very clearly here, it adds a lot of depth perception to the video footage, so that way they get the best possible view of me when I'm teaching. My camera also allows me to adjust the lighting, so that way if for some reason it's dark, because you see how some of the natural light comes in here, if it's dark for whatever reason, which I usually teach at night, I can adjust the lighting on my camera to ensure that visibility is never an issue in my classes and my students are always able to see what I'm doing. So this is what I see as well as my students, and at any point they can change the view, of course, in Zoom to gallery view, speaker view, all of that stuff. But I do spotlight my video so I'm the only one that my students see, and then they can opt into seeing everyone else and change the perspective if they want. Otherwise, I fill their screen, which makes it easier for you all to see because you can see me clearly in the whole range of your screen versus this little tiny icon. This is why I don't recommend people take classes from their phone if you can help it, because the screen is so small that it's kind of hard to see those details. But if you are taking a class on your phone, if you're taking my classes on your phone, then the good thing is that I have such great lighting and such great resolution on my camera that even on a small screen, you'll be able to see every single little detail that I teach. So this is what it is for my students. This is just great lighting, lots of detail. I like to come up to the camera and then I also walk away, and then I like to come back up so they can see all the details. I also have a chair under here that I've been standing on recently so I can demonstrate movements in the lower half of my body very close to the camera. The cool thing is this is a standing desk, so what this allows me to do is also move the camera up and down should I need to give my students the best perspective and the best experience possible. So I want to show you the coolest thing for me as a teacher and why it's so effing fab for you as a student. So I'm gonna come over here. You can see that the camera is still in the background. So now, if you can notice, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here. You see how my full body is here right now on screen? What's really neat is that I can always ensure that my body is fully on screen the entire time. So you'll always see me. I teach from this perspective, I teach from this perspective, I teach from this perspective, and of course from the back, because I think it's so important for every student to be able to see me from a 360 perspective in order for you to feel like it's an in-person class, right? And I want you to feel warm and welcome and understand all the aspects of your body from every angle, not just a straight on shot, because that's really not how we learn. So I love giving this immersive experience by teaching and talking to them while I move. So here's the kicker. This is the part that's really fun for me and what makes a difference for you guys as the student. What? I have a large ass screen here. So the camera is over here. You see I'm pointing to the camera, but everything that this is picking up, which my students see, I can see here. So even though my camera is spotlighted over here, what my students see is just me, but I change my view to the gallery view. So I see all of your thumbnails up on the screen, which is pretty phenomenal. So I see all of my students up on the screen, and it's really fantastic. And this is why. So let's say I'm demonstrating a movement. I'm doing Serena here, and I am wanting to offer you feedback and demonstrate to you at the same time what's happening. What I do is I continue dancing, and you can see that my hand is kind of moving. I'm gonna try and keep it still. What I can do is I can continue dancing, but then look to the side and offer you immediate feedback while I continue to do the movement. So I like to call on my students, allow them to ask questions. They give me like a demonstration of the movement so I can help them with what they're working on. And then I give them immediate feedback in real time while demonstrating it. And I can see them. Because if you notice, if I'm standing here and I'm this far away from the camera, to see all of my students is really hard, which means a lot of the times I stop and then I have to walk over, which is not necessarily bad, right? Because most people do that. And then I have to give them perspective here. But what I love about my teaching setup and how I help you guys learn very seamlessly and smoothly is that I don't stop demonstrating the movement if I don't need to, that I keep dancing in order for you to see it. So when I do a hip drop, boom, I can continue demonstrating this movement as I ask you all to demonstrate what you see, and I can give you immediate feedback. Straighten the leg, bend the leg, drop the hip, use more muscle, use less muscle, all of that instead of, I think that's really zoomed in. Hold on, guys. You see my wardrobe, that's where all my costumes are. So it really offers a lot of continuity in the class as though you were right here with me. So y'all, when I tell you that my students tell me that I'm one of the best teachers that they've ever taken from while teaching online, it's no lie. And not to it's no lie, but it's not because I have an ego about it. It's because I've really spent a lot, you see how I'm talking to you guys right here. It's because I've spent a lot of time working on your experience and making sure that you have exactly what you need to be successful taking my class online. Because a lot of you are choosing not to sign up for my class because you're not in person. But I want to tell you that's really setting yourself back unless you can find an in-person class that you really love. It's really setting you back because what you're doing is you're just waiting for this ideal situation to start learning versus just starting. And I wanted to show you guys this because I want you to see that although we may be online, I do my best possible to give you really personalized, safe, safety, comfortability inside of my classes. So that way you can really trust that you are in a community of people who have your back and want what's best for you in your eyes. So if you're going after a goal of wanting great hip drops, they get to love and support you by holding the space of being safe, by not being judgmental, while I give you very personalized feedback on your body. So like I said, I get to stay up here and teach you all, hello, and then love on you guys from here. And then when I want to and when I can and need to, then I come up here, give closer demonstrations. It's just amazing. It's just really amazing. So I hope you all got to see just a brief peek into what I do to ensure that your experience is a really, really good one, because I care about how you learn and what are the best tools that you need in order to learn. So the more that I've created a clear and continuous experience for you, the better your experience, your learning, your dancing, your thought work will be, because those are just things that don't take you out of the picture. They don't take you out of the realm. It's like going to Cirque du Soleil and watching this amazing show, and you see how they're all in costume and they're all in their, they're on, right? They're performing, but you never see them kind of like toss their wig off to the side or do anything like that that takes you out of the experience and detracts from what the purpose of the show was. It's the same in my class, where I do as much as possible to ensure you have this seamless experience so you can really focus on the dancing, so you can really focus on your thought work around your body, how to reach your goals faster, instead of like, oh, Sam, we can't see you. Oh, Sam, this isn't working. Oh, Sam, this isn't blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's more like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing the demonstration. That was great feedback. Can you just show me one more time from this perspective again? And then I can do it really easily. And they're like, got it. Even though we are not in the same room. It all makes a difference, my friends. I am committed to giving you the best experience possible when you learn belly dancing online. This is why I want you guys to try it out with me and see what you are capable of. And you do not need an in-person experience to do it. You don't need an in-person experience to get started. I promise you. Will you want one eventually? Perhaps. And does it offer like some real fun energy? Absolutely, but it doesn't take away from the fact that online belly dancing classes can be just as beneficial to you, and that you can learn. Because through all of this, the other thing that I'm teaching you how to do is connect to your own freaking brilliance in your head of what you know already about your body, that you don't need me to come in and touch you necessarily to adjust you. I help you learn by putting your hands on the movement in your body yourself, so that way you understand how to shift your body, how to connect back with your body, instead of relying upon someone else's feedback to do it 100% of the time. We can really learn a lot by trusting ourselves first. This is why I want to encourage you to take classes in an online platform, specifically with me. I would love to help you reach your belly dance goals, your body relationship goals, and love yourself just as you are, because you're fucking phenomenal. I love you all so much. Check out the details in the description below. I really look forward to seeing you in my studio. Let's dance.